Let's talk Manchester United now and see if the feeling is the same. Janusz, you got to give me something. I need to feel positive about my Red Devils heading in to this season, going down 4-2 to Milan in this final preseason friendly. It was pretty much a second half collapse there in this one. So any concerns now for Michael Carrick from this specific result heading into the new season?
Yeah, I had some. They were almost answered in the second minute a little bit. But then I do have concern. You know why? Because, I said to myself, okay, I mean, Bruno Fernandes carried that team last season, right? I mean, that was the only reason. I think the change of a manager was obviously healthy for them because, they went from Amorim, who played the system that they didn't want to play, to Michael Carrick, and he fixed that, simple fix where you go to 4-4-2, play to the strength of your squad, right? And we saw that. But part of it, let's be honest, it had to be, you're a United supporter, it had to be a surprise that second half of the season. But I think it was because of the players finally got some confidence. But let's be honest, I mean, it was a weak league. Mm-hmm. So I need the proof. You look at Liverpool, you look at Chelsea, you look at Spurs, you look at the big teams. It was a weak season. Yeah. I mean, it was really all about Arsenal. Just they made everybody nervous towards the end. We kind of always knew that Manchester City were not there just yet, right? Yeah. So now I look at United and I say to myself, okay, they've got a player that obviously scored, but had what was it? 21, 22 assists? I can't. 21 maybe assists, something like that. Can he do it again? And then second minute comes, right? And the two players, Bruno Fernandes, bad World Cup, and Harry Maguire, who somehow didn't go to the World Cup, scores on a set piece, which Tuchel said was so important to them. They had millions of them. They scored one or two, but they underperformed. So I'm saying to myself, all right, okay, Bruno Fernandes is doing the same. Obviously, he's not going to forget how to deliver a ball. Maguire scores a goal. That's a great start. And then there was much of muchness, not much. Milan were clearly the better team. Yeah. I know that Bruno didn't score a penalty. If he did, maybe that changes. It's preseason. But, I mean, even in the first half, the number of chances, Loftus-Cheek, remember? I mean, if it wasn't for Lamens, it would have been 2-0 in the first 10 minutes. 10 minutes or 2-1 at the time. So, Manchester United, Alexis, has to prove it that it wasn't a one-off. Because, I mean, they went from a horrible team, to a very good team that was, so high in the table that I was thinking to myself, how does that happen? And I think it happened because the league itself was poor. But I just talk about Spurs. I think Chelsea is going to be a little bit better. Liverpool, I'm not so sure just yet. Mm-hmm. But I need proof. This wasn't a good game for Manchester United.
No, it wasn't a game. And that's what I was saying. It almost gave me a little bit of trauma thinking back to last season. Do you feel like in this game today against Milan, it kind of exposed maybe some of the vulnerabilities we saw from United last season that you would have hoped that they would have been able to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the same time, I don't want to put too much into a preseason game. We all know, I mean, I thought this was going to be like 4-0 to United. I mean, think about it. Milan came without like 8 or 9 players. Yeah. The player, there's four or five players that started that game. They're on the transfer list. If somebody comes for them, Milan gets rid of them. And here you have Chukwueze, who did absolutely anything he wanted against Luke Shaw, on that side. Lisandro Martinez came in, and then they scored as well from that side as well. So, the transfer window for them was just okay. Yuri Tielemans wasn't looking great, but I think he always needs time to get going a little bit, right? Even last season at Villa, remember he came back after the injury and took like 2 or 3 games, and then he's going to be fine. Santos is going to be capable. But when you look at that team, you still got to ask yourself, can Marcus Rashford finally start playing, right? I mean, we've seen that at Barca, but, not consistent. We all know the issues he's had there, right? Carrick is saying that, look, he's looking great in preseason, but we need proof, right? I mean, I'm not absolutely convinced. So it's pretty much the same team if you look at that. Couple additions, but it's not players that make you go, wow, So I don't want to say I'm worried, but let's wait and see.
Oh, don't worry, Janusz. You know me as a Man United fan, I'm always worried. I am always filled with worry. But you mentioned Marcus Rashford. Let's talk about him for a little bit there. Based on what you see, of course, it's not enough yet, and the season hasn't started. But where do you see him fitting into what Michael Carrick wants to do at Manchester United?
Well, I think it's going to be the same as it was before, as it was at Barcelona. I think he's going to play on the left side. He may play centrally, although you can see that Carrick is looking everywhere at all his options, right? Benjamin Šeško is not quite ready yet. I know he's training, but it's not quite ready yet. But he hasn't shown that he's a consistent goal scorer. Decent end to the season, but not consistent just yet. We've seen Bumo play as a number 9. We've seen today Mateusz Cunha play there. So obviously, Carrick's looking for options, as he should. So I continue to think that Rashford is going to be playing on the left and not at number 9. I think his position is better in a wide area. And again, we get glimpses from him. That's all. I mean, he's way too talented for all teams to have so many doubts about him. Don't you think? I don't want to say he's like Balotelli, but it's sort of same story, that what's in there and you're just constantly waiting for it to come out. That's the bonus in it as well, because it's hard to give up on a player, Alexis, that is so talented, and he does have that.
Yeah, he definitely has that. I mean, it doesn't get more Manchester United than Marcus Rashford now. So let's hope that the second homecoming is a special one for him. Patrick Dorgu as well. He had a bit of a lively game too. Mm-hmm. How important do you think he could be to the way Michael Carrick wants to play?
Yeah, I think at his best, he's fine. Again, there's just, I think of Manchester United and I think of top players. And, and I just still don't see that. I see players that can, come a level or two higher in the way they play. And, if he creates a great team, which he has in the second half of the season, if he continues that and everybody starts getting better, right? I mean, it's the second season for Cunha and from Bumo, so I suppose you're going to see a lot more from them as well. Then Manchester United is going to be up there in terms of a fight for top 4. But I mean, I don't see them at this moment as a team that's going to fight for the title.
Well, as you said, there's still a bit of the transfer window left, whether or not Manchester United are able to get some of those big names that you said that kind of brings you back to the United of old. What do you think they should be going for then in the time that they have, so that you're at least filled with a bit more confidence with them going into this season?
I'm still not absolutely convinced about the back 4. It's how, Maguire, I think, he's tried and tested. That's for sure. Can Yoro next to him be good? And trying to think who played next to him today, and just a heaven, right? But again, it's missing that. Luke Shaw, again, from time to time, he shows you, I don't know what he does in the off season, but it's not looking great. Maybe when he gets some games under the belt, of course, we know, what he's capable of, but still not the sort of a player these days against these youngsters, with unbelievable pace that I think of. And I say to myself, wow, we're comfortable there. I suppose Lisandro Martinez, if he does play at his best level all the time, that's your answer there. It's a little bit better, but I'm not convinced about the back 4, and that's always going to be an issue for any team. I mean, we all know, the Manchester City or Liverpool or Arsenal at their best, right? One of the first statistics that comes to mind, they don't concede. They just don't, or they concede such small number that you say, how is that possible in the Premier League with, such an attacking minded league? Everybody's going forward and forward and forward. And, I forget the goals now, but Liverpool City in their best season, below 10 goals, and Arsenal last season as well. Very, very strong in that department. I don't see that yet from Manchester United.
All right, so a couple more things for Michael Carrick then to ponder before this season starts. But Janusz Michallik, thank you so much. Welcome back. Good to have you back with us. Plenty to look forward to as a new Premier League season is upon us, and you can bet we will be right here back again talking all about it on ESPN FC Live.